We have former MLB All-Star outfielder with the Expos, Marlins, Red Sox, Mets, Padres, and Rays as well, and the Cubs, I believe. Cliff Floyd joining us. Cliff, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Getting ready for my little show at 12 o'clock, but want to give y'all, a couple minutes. Appreciate y'all having me on, and I heard you talking about you a minute ago. And it's a tough gig with Youkilis right now. But I mean, at the end of the day, from a business standpoint, I think it just makes sense. And they get a quality arm. I think they got a quality arm, and the White Sox got they had to give up Zach Stewart, I think, a hard throwing righty, and Brett Lillibridge was the other guy. So at the end of the day, man, I think Youkilis needs to get out of there. Too much talk about not performing and not, getting along with the manager and all that crap. And, I know being that you've been in sports all this time, in baseball particularly, that, when it gets to that point, it's time to go.
Yeah, no question. I know that you now do the Cliff Floyd Foundation, so do you want to explain to our listeners a little bit about the Cliff Floyd Foundation?
Yeah, it's up and going. Cliff Floyd Foundation is basically what we're trying to do is get out in the communities and get as many kids off the street into something constructive. At this juncture right now, it's tough. It's really hard because I'm working a lot, and foundations need work. They need effort. They need a lot of time. And if you don't have time, it suffers a little bit. But I feel at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the Cliff Floyd Foundation will be on the map, and we will be out there in the communities. My goal is to start in Chicago, where my roots are from, where I'm from, and get out there and help these kids get into something constructive. Because that was my problem growing up. I wanted to do something for my foundation or something that represented what I went through in my life. And what I went through was not having a lot of things to do. And people go, well, you could have played sports. You could have did. Well, I didn't have the means. I didn't have the money, the means, or whatever to play sports. And when I went to the playgrounds, it was good. It was ghetto. Not a lot of good things going on where I come from. And if you can get these kids something to hang their hat on at the end of the day, it just makes that much more sense.
Yeah, what you're doing is great, and I wish the foundation the best of luck. What is the favorite memory of your career? Because you won a World Series, you went to an All-Star game, you had a lot of great things happen in your career. Out of all the things that happened, what was your favorite memory?
I think the favorite is, I won a World Series with the Marlins. That was amazing. Not a lot of guys get the opportunity. I won in '97 with them. But my favorite, I think it goes back to 2000 with the Rays. Got a chance to go there. A team was struggling, a lot of talent on the team, but not enough guidance, amongst the players. Great coaches, but guys who willed themselves to go out there every single day and get it done continuously every single night wasn't there. And when I got there, it wasn't because of me. It wasn't because of one guy. It was team effort. And we got it going, man. We got it in every night. We was 30 games over 500. We went from, worst to first. And, we look back on it now, it wasn't a lot of hype, which, disappointed me, but it didn't matter. We knew we had in our locker room. We went out there every single day and got it done. And when we got a chance, we didn't win the World Series, but, we got damn close, and that's all you can ask for, really.
What's up, Cliff? This is John Burns, huge fan of yours. What was the feeling of getting drafted out of high school, and do you have any regrets on not playing college ball?
Not really have any regrets. I think back, when I came out of high school, it was an opportunity to make some money and take care of my family. I took advantage of that. And that was it. I didn't know anything about how to get drafted in the first round, where I was going to get drafted and what was the entailing and how much money I was going to make. I had no idea about that crap. What I did know was whatever money I made, I was going to be a lot richer than what I had. So, I took the money and and was thinking, if I don't make it, well, I never thought I was going to make it. I wasn't one of those kids that had a dream of one day being in the big leagues. Some guys do. I wasn't that guy, unfortunately. But I knew I was a talent at something. I had good skills in basketball. I had good skills in football. I had good skills in baseball. I didn't know what that was going to lead to. I didn't know, from where I come from. Hell, nobody I knew was in the league or somebody I want to follow. Now, I ran from Chicago. Of course, I had a chance to grow up and watch Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and all these guys do it day in, day out every year, win championships, but still didn't register to me that I had the opportunity to do successful. And, when it actually came to light that I could do this, I mean, it just went to another level.
Former MLB outfielder Cliff Floyd joining us here on the Blitz Hardcore podcast. You can follow Cliff on Twitter at Sleepy30. Cliff, in 2002, you played on 3 different teams, the Red Sox, the Marlins, and the Expos. What was that experience like?
It was tough. It's sort of what Youkilis is going through right now. It's tough. You want to just be in one place. You got family. You got a lot going on, and you want to just be able to, come home, sit down on the couch, play with your kids if you got kids. I didn't have kids at the time. And just relax, man, and unwind from a big league baseball game that you put so much effort into. But when you have the rumors out there, as you see right now with Zach Greinke, as you saw with Youkilis and some other guys that's about to come up in the next week or so, when this thing starts to get hot, it wears on you. And not only did I go to 1 time, I went to 2. So my wife was just like, you know what, I've had enough. And, you start to understand the business side. And if you don't get it then, I don't think you ever going to get it. And that's how I looked at that situation.
233 career homers is a lot. Which one of those 233 was the most memorable to you?
Man, you know what? They all had some value, some memory to them. I hit one with the Mets when I hit a home run foul. And, every time you hit a home run foul, you usually strike out. And I remember, it was the 9th inning. We were down, and forget who was pitching, but he hung a split, and I was able to keep it fair and win the game. It was a great walk-off. I get a lot of tweets about that to this day, so it was a good time for me.
Cliff Floyd joining us on the Blitz Hardcore podcast. Cliff, obviously you played during the mid and late 90s, early 2000s, and that era in baseball is going to be remembered mostly for steroids. How many guys throughout your locker room and everything, how prevalent was it that you knew about guys doing steroids? Were you offered steroids, things like that?
No, I wasn't ever offering. Guys wasn't that bold. I think guys took it upon themselves to do what they need to do for themselves. And, different shows, different folks, man. You can't knock a person's judgment. That's the one thing I've been able, or try to tell people is when you look at, guys who now have taken rap or presently you have a couple guys they can the system. I mean, you do to each his own. And that's how I live. I don't live to talk about somebody's personal decisions that they make, because that's none of my business. It's really not. Now, does it hurt the game? Am I ticked off that a guy hits 50 home runs and I hit 30 and I didn't do it and they did it and they get compensated? And I get compensated too, but I don't get my due. Of course it pisses you off. But at the end of the day, are you really going to cry over getting $30, $40 million still? I mean, no, I'm not. And I just told you. I would have took whatever coming out of high school because I didn't have anything. I didn't have a pot to piss in. So now you look at the whole situation and you go, well, I mean, am I really going to knock a dude's hustle for doing what he needs to do? Whether he pays for it or not, I don't know. But I know, living through that was it was tough. But at the same time, it was a part of the game that everybody knows about now. And, hopefully it's done. Hopefully it's over, and it'll never be back a part of the game, because I think Bud and his crew is doing a great job of cleaning up the game.
You played in 2 World Series and have 1 ring. What does it feel like to win a championship?
Oh man, it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, you can't put into words how much it means, or what it really is. It's just, I'm sort of trying to tell people the happiest time in your life, triple it, quadruple it. You know what I mean? And that's what that feeling is like. I mean, you're like a kid in a candy store. You're jumping around like little kids out there running like the Little League World Series. And, it doesn't change from that moment to the World Series. It's the same feeling that those kids have in Little League World Series. It's the same when you win in the Big League World Series. I mean, it's the same excitement.
Cliff, this comes from one of our listeners. Justin, he also is normally one of our hosts, but he wants to know if you have any interest in being a manager or a hitting coach.
One day I think I will. I don't know if that door opens up. But right now, I'm just, I'm going day by day, man. And I think I'm gaining a lot of knowledge. I've been out the game for a little bit. I'm gaining a lot of knowledge about, how the game is played in between white lines. And I think that will take me to the next level if that door opens. If that door doesn't open, then, I'm going to have to figure something else out because I can't sit around. I get bored. I love the game. I love being in the game. But you have to make sure, it's right for you. You have to make sure that you're in the right situations. I hate to see guys take a job, just to get opportunity because if it doesn't work, you're the one left, outside when there's what probably wasn't the best situation for you in the first place. So hopefully it is the right situation. And if it is, I'll be a part of it.
Do you have any World Series predictions, Cliff?
This year's going to be tough. I think this is going to be the toughest year out of any year. And the reason I say that is because you look around, when you look at the closers, when you look at teams and their pitching staff, when you look at the Texas Rangers and everybody thought they was going to run away with it, it ain't happening that easy. When you look at baseball today and you look at all these teams out there that's playing a ton better, the Baltimore Orioles, the New York Mets, the Washington Nationals, so many teams are playing really good baseball. This year's the most unpredictable year, I think, out there. And I'll be remiss if I didn't say that the Yankees are going to be a part of it, I think. Just for the simple fact that they're good. There's no other way to look at it. They're good. And I would predict the Yankees, and I'm going to go, and listen, this is really predicated on Mike Rizzo. I think Mike Rizzo has to understand that this team has a chance to do something very special. Strasburg is a part of that rotation later than what they say he's going to be. I'm going to go Yankees Nationals. And if he's not in there, I'm just going to stoop down and go one down and go with, as hard as it may be, the L.A. Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to do something special. You look at their record now. I'm not strictly going on their record. I'm strictly going on the fact that they've done it without their best player. Put them back in the mix. You got a great team. So I'm gonna go with the Nationals. If Strasburg is pitching, if he's not pitching, I'm gonna go with the ant on him and go with the Dodgers.
Former MLB star Cliff Floyd. Cliff, thanks a lot for joining us on the Blitz Hardcore podcast.
Yo, no doubt, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Cliff.